Welcome to Dixie Broadcasting, the powerful voice of today's Southern movement.
Stop! Is that...
And to keep you company during your long haul all night long, tune into the X, KDXC. KDXC 1620 AM from Maximum Overdrive Radio with my dear friend the Road Wolf. Followed by Eric Harley and Joe Kelly overnight only on the Midnight Cowboy Trucking Network.
Welcome to Talking Toes, a segment of Highway Hooker Radio where we talk about tow trucks and discuss issues and concerns of us who drive them, the American towing professional. Talking Toes is brought to you by the Iron Knights Association and our great supporting cast. Rocky Mountain Wrecker Supply, Murray, Utah. Federal Signal Corporation, all the better to see you. By Miller Industries, manufacturers of homes and Century towing equipment. By Jody's Diner of Evanston, Wyoming, when you just gotta eat. Now sit back, grab your coffee cup, and enjoy as we talk tow here on Talking Toes.
news before you head off to bed, and to keep you company during your long haul all night long, tune into the X, KDXC. KDXC 1620 AM for Maximum Overdrive Radio with my dear friend the Road Wolf. Followed by Eric Harley and Joe Kelly overnight only on the Midnight Cowboy Trucking Network.
Time you see the moon out, ain't everybody asleep. Some folks are working. I got a slow rolling low. Looks like my doings undone me. Done got me so down. Been out around, don't know my head from my toes. Ain't a hand here to hold. Ain't a shoulder to cry on. Ain't a corner to turn, nor lesson to learn, put the dying in me. Thought I wanted to be something you could depend on. Lordy, Lord, woe and me. Ain't nobody would care. I got a slow rolling low. Got the words to my song. Ain't that just like a fool gonna ride on them trains when the train is all gone? Y'all better hook it.
Hey gang, it's Surf Sam on KBLA. We're just hours away from Halloween night in 1965. Oh, I see that the hangout for the Hollywood Nights, Tubby's Drive-In, is coming down tonight. Fellas, don't get bummed out. Remember, a friend with weed is a friend indeed. 329 Beach Boys time.
Freedom, love, and lifestyle I adore. She's waiting for me behind my garage door. She's all never talks back.
The sheep are coming. That's right. Out of the badlands of Idaho comes the one that has been the one called that's to all roadside emergencies. Black Sheep Towing, part of Eagle One Automotive, with 5 trucks in 8 locations throughout Idaho and coming soon to Wyoming. The one call that gets you a Mountain West Towing Council certified emergency vehicle recovery technician responding to your call. Not just some tow truck driver. Radio dispatched by us, not some answering service like some others. If you need a tow, big rigger, little hauler, get hooked by the VMF 214 Black Sheep Towing. The best to be knowing when you need towing. The big number is 801-593-5505. Our expert, affordable towing or quick response mobile vehicle service. There is only one, the best one, the Black Sheep, Black Sheep Towing. Part of Eagle One Automotive. Eagle One Automotive and Black Sheep Towing are not part of or affiliated with Eagle One Car Care products. The Black Sheep just loves tows. Ah, yes, honey.
The Senate investigation of Russian meddling in our election moved forward, with Attorney General Jeff Sessions appearing before the Intelligence Committee.
Sessions was repeatedly pressed about any meetings with the Russians as a member of the Trump campaign. In particular, a possible third meeting he never acknowledged. When then-candidate Donald Trump was to speak, and the Russian ambassador was there.
If any brief interaction occurred in passing with the Russian ambassador during that reception, I did not remember it.
Pressed further, Sessions acknowledged there is video of the ambassador at the event.
ABC News senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. There's been speculation about President Trump firing Robert Mueller, the special counsel investigating Russia. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein told the Senate committee the president could ask for Mueller's firing, but only for good cause, which Rosenstein says he hasn't seen.
And you have my assurance that we're going to faithfully follow that regulation, and Director Mueller is going to have a full degree of independence that he needs to conduct that investigation appropriately.
The trial was faster than anticipated, but there's still no resolution in the sex assault case against Bill Cosby.
A speedy trial has led to a drawn-out, plodding deliberation, with jurors pausing to examine testimony about Cosby and about his accuser. The defense poked at discrepancies in her original counts of being drugged and questioned why she had repeated interactions with Cosby even after his alleged attack. Now, still with no consensus, those around the Montgomery County Courthouse are wondering if this jury is deadlocked. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
The House did the final legislative sign-off on a bill making it easier to fire employees at the Veterans Affairs Department. The measure, part of an effort urged by President Trump to fix the VA, goes to the president later this week. On Wall Street, it was an up day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 93 points higher at 21,328. The NASDAQ Composite Index was a 45-point gainer. You're listening to ABC News.
The sheep are coming. That's right. Out of the badlands of Idaho comes the one that has been the one called that's to all roadside emergencies. Black Sheep Towing, part of Eagle One Automotive, with 5 trucks in 8 locations throughout Idaho and coming soon to Wyoming. The one call that gets you a Mountain West Towing Council certified emergency vehicle recovery technicians responding to your call. Not just some tow truck driver. Radio dispatched by us, not some answering service like some others. If you need a tow, big rigger, little hauler, get hooked by the VMF 214 Black Sheep Towing. The best to be knowing when you need towing. The big number is 801-593-5505. Our expert, affordable towing or quick response mobile vehicle service. There is only one, the best one, the Black Sheep, Black Sheep Towing. Part of Eagle One Automotive. Eagle One Automotive and Black Sheep Towing are not part of or affiliated with Eagle One Car Care Products. The Black Sheep just loves toes. Ah, yes.
2. The Senate investigation of Russian meddling in our election moved forward, with Attorney General Jeff Sessions appearing before the Intelligence Committee.
Sessions was repeatedly pressed about any meetings with the Russians as a member of the Trump campaign. In particular, a possible third meeting he never acknowledged. When then-candidate Donald Trump was to speak, and the Russian ambassador was there.
If any brief interaction occurred in passing with the Russian ambassador during that reception, I do not remember.
Pressed further, Sessions acknowledged there is video of the ambassador at the event.
ABC News senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. There's been speculation about President Trump firing Robert Mueller, the special counsel investigating Russia. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein told the Senate committee the president could ask for Mueller's firing, but only for good cause, which Rosenstein says he hasn't seen.
And you have my assurance that we're going to faithfully follow that regulation, and Director Mueller is going to have a full degree of independence that he needs to conduct that investigation appropriately.
The trial was faster than anticipated, but there's still no resolution in the sex assault case against Bill Cosby.
A speedy trial has led to a drawn-out, plodding deliberation, with jurors pausing to examine testimony about Cosby and about his accuser. The defense poked at discrepancies in her original counts of being drugged and questioned why she had repeated interactions with Cosby even after his alleged attack. Now, still with no consensus, those around the Montgomery County Courthouse are wondering if this jury is deadlocked. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
The House did the final legislative sign-off on a bill making it easier to fire employees at the Veterans Affairs Department. The measure, part of an effort urged by President Trump to fix the VA, goes to the president later this week. On Wall Street, it was an up day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 93 points higher at 21,328. The NASDAQ Composite Index was a 45-point gainer. You're listening to ABC News.
Good evening or good morning or whatever it may be, whatever the part of the United States you happen to be in. Now, people have always criticized me for that when I say that. But understand something here. It depends on what end of the country you happen to be in at the time that I say that. Because in some parts, it's already well into the morning. In some parts, most people are just going to bed. And if you're around the world, the day has already partially started there, as well as part of it is going to bed completely because it is night in that part of the world. So depending on where you're at, it could be good morning, good night, or good afternoon. Which kind of makes it kind of a mess up if you say anything along the lines of, where's brunch? Hey, yeah, what can you say? It is Hump Day 2017. Let's see, what else is going on? Boy, this stuff with good old friggin' what's-his-nuts. Ain't it? I mean, think about it. We have went from a president who doesn't really give a shit. Now, let's be honest about this. Where you have gone with a damn president that ain't worth a shit to one that is more corrupt than anything you have seen. I told you way back. When you were actually sitting out there and you were considering, who do I vote for? Clinton or Trump? Despite the fact that you kicked out a whole hell of a lot of people, a lot of guys that could have been better presidents. You didn't do that, did you? You didn't even take the time to learn about those other presidents. Why didn't you? Why didn't you take a look at the ones that are other guys that were out there? Like Michelle Bachmann. She would have made a better president, but you kicked her ass out. Probably about the the first or second debate. And then Ted Cruz. Jeb Bush. Now, come on. Be honest. You fucked up. And now you've got somebody in there with his finger on the frigging button. The big red button that launches everything and anything that goes bang. And some stuff that does a serious. And yet, guess what you've done? You have put together one hellacious guy that's going to end up kicking your ass. And you're going to be sitting there going, but we all told you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. And I'll tell you something, and everybody can bitch all they want. We have had no decent president since Bill Clinton got pushed out because he decided one afternoon to get a little bit of touchy-feely in the White House. He went into the Oval Office and got himself a little bit of nookie. Okay, so it was oral sex. Who cares? Tell me somebody that wouldn't do that. Albeit, I'll tell you this much. Monica Lewinsky, gosh, she was friggin' fug-dugly. It's like this guy, now, and saying something along this line. Consider this. Remember when good old, and you're going to tell me I'm full of shit, but it's okay. But I like it where it does that. But you gotta figure, we had a good president. Tech stocks were up, innovation was going, people were actually starting to work. And then all of a sudden, no Bill Clinton. Bush got in there. And what happened? Right into those Twin Towers in New York City. But we sort of healed. Kind of tucked that away. I still say there's a conspiracy theory there, but beyond my capacity of thinking things. And yet, all of a sudden, bang, there we were. We're sitting there stroking our meat, going, what happened? I can remember when I first heard about it, I was sitting up in Glens Ferry doing radio there, and all of a sudden, one of my interns that was working at one of the offices of Hazard Air was in, the Twin Towers, and she told me what had happened. And that was the first thing that I even heard about it. Considering that I'd been asleep, considering that I was getting some real serious nookie through the whole damn night. Yeah. I got more puss than anybody that I could think of, and when it comes to Evanston, no. Haven't had any since I've been here. Oh, yeah. Which brings us to segment number 2. My dear sweet Shell, guess what? The other night, she calls me on the phone. I answer the phone. She says, who's in that apartment with you? Nobody. It sure sounds like it. No, it wasn't. And then she started bitching about it. And you know, it's the same shit. The same shit that broke us up the first time. You'd think by now somebody would learn. She didn't. But the thing is, she keeps trying. You know? I know somehow, for some damn-ass reason, she thinks that I'm, the cat's meow. But still, I'm big bad wolf. But yet, she doesn't realize that. Anyway. Hey, did I wake you up now? And then, of course, there is the situation of moving up back to Hazard, or a town pretty close to it. Going over last couple of weeks. Now, first of all, do the people in fucking Utah even know how to drive? I mean, even a little bit. I mean, you really do need to have Hazard County-style driving skills to be able to even get through that state. Now, I know, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get a few grumps anyway. But considering that the vast majority of the state of Utah is LDS, the Mormons, I got an idea. Put for just a second, a driver's manual. I don't care from what state. Idaho, Utah itself. But put a driver's manual in the fucking Book of Mormon or in the back of the Doctrine and Covenants, somewhere, maybe then, only then, some of those people might actually read it. I had some jackass right there coming home the other night after I'd run over I don't know if it was it couldn't have been a skunk, because that would have smelled up the car. Although I'm one of these people, yes, I know this is a strange thing, because I'm completely perverted. Hold on a minute before you go jumping off. The word pervert comes from the damn word perversion. Okay? It means to follow a different course or think different than normal. Whatever the hell normal really is. It has really nothing to do with anything really sexual. The first two definitions in any Webster's dictionary says pervert stands for thinking different. Pretty much a rebel. What the hell are we? We're rebel. Okay? We fight the system. But anyway, so I'm coming home, and all of a sudden I'm passing by Brigham City. And that big-ass fucking damn on-ramp that comes down from all the canyons that everybody has to get on and get off to Brigham City. Here comes this jackass, and it must have been some kid buying the car or something. Daddy bought me a new car for graduation. Ain't this thing pretty? So anyway, so he comes in and he hits the damn blacktop. And all of a sudden, not only does he go inside my lane and cause me to almost lock him up, but he shoots right in front of my car, right in front of the General Jackson, and then back over to where he was going, and then back over to... I wish there would have been a fuzz somewhere, but then, of course, the fuzz don't bother anybody down there. Oh, it might be somebody in our ward. I don't want to give him a ticket. Fuck you. Bullshit. You're out there doing some shit you shouldn't be. Book of Dental. Dum, da-dum, dum. I mean, why the hell not? It's too damn much shit, It just really is. So, anyway, and then I got there to Morgan. And whatever the hell had happened, I must have been having the malfunction all the way home. But all of a sudden, I sit there in Morgan, filling up the car. And I go in to pay, and I come back out, and some guy says, "Hey, I think there's something hanging underneath your car." No shit. Well, what had happened was the air dam, or the little valance that's underneath that protects everything, as well as give you some aerodynamics underneath the car. Well, guess what? It broke off when I hit that damn whatever the hell. Whether it was a skunk, a possum, or something out there. Out between Burley, Malta, and the state line there on the old highway. So, whatever it is, I've got to go fix that. And then, of course, tonight we went out and we got Little Wolf and brought him here. I know I've got to charge the battery in the morning. But the first thing that happened is my little itty-bitty sun visor with the little itty-bitty lights fell off. Got to fix that now. And then, second of all, I went to switch on some things, couldn't see shit. And third of all, none of my gizmos works. So I got to go out tomorrow, take the truck out, back out, and fiddle fart with it, and try to get everything else done to where I can get moved tomorrow to where, guess what? I don't have that problem anymore. So anyway, not that I like losing the shop because I could use it right now, but hey, whatever's on there, as long as the trucks will make it to Wendell, I'm happy. And then I'll fuck with shit the hell over there once I get it over there. But as it is right now, I ain't caring. I know, you're not caring anyway. No, I mean, I don't give a squat of what happens between now and then. I just want to get the shit over there, and then I'll deal with whatever the hell it is that's wrong piece by piece. And that's what's kind of nice about that little place. Now, granted, the place where I'm at won't accept or won't accommodate Lexibel or anything like that because it's just a little shop. It's just big enough to work on a bike. But that's the whole idea. Now, there is a shop over there in Jerome. Now, apparently there's been several people in there that never ever stays there very long. But I'm going to go look at it and see if I can't play Let's Make a Deal. And if I can fix the thing up and so on and so forth, that might be a good place for Cooter's Customs or something. And the thing is, and I know a lot of you are sitting there going, well, what happened to the wolf thing? Well, it's still there. The problem that I ran into is today when I was fiddling, and I shouldn't have done what I did because it really banged my poor damn credit card pretty heavy. But I went in there to Google my business, and there was 2 of them up there that hadn't been updated, so they wanted me to do that. And then there was a couple of other things in there. So I bought a domain name for Cooters A1 because it was the easiest one to get at. I thought about doing Highway Hooker as well. Probably will later on, but not now. Anyway. But I got what I needed. Okay? At least it's up there and it shows something. You know? So Cooters A1 is going to stay for a while. And that wouldn't be such a bad thing going back, since we're going back to Hazard anyway. Might as well readopt the whole damn image and stay with it. It seems like maybe that's part of the problem. We kind of drifted away too much from what the hell we were and tried to be a bunch of other things. Now, I'm not saying the Highway Hooker thing can't stay, because that is where the hell I started. But still, sometimes you have to make a little bit of a modification. Either due to a poor reputation, a few toes that you shouldn't have went and did, a few things you wanted to do to try to enhance your business that somebody got pissed off about. Hey, you kissed my girl's toes for a damn commercial. You... And of course, there is Mama Wolf. Guess what? She don't like it much either. Now, some people might just jump out there and say, well, why don't you just kiss hers? Guess what? No, I don't think so. For a lot of reasons, and someday I'll expand upon that. But the long and short of it is, I don't think that's going to work too well. Okay, so that's the situations on that. And then I tried to watch a movie on my DVD player, on old Betsy here, that used to work pretty much flawlessly. And it doesn't matter what the hell thing I put in there, it won't work. So I don't know if I need to take the casing off and really clean the poor beast out, which that might be it, because the damn little visual, whatever the hell it is, might not work right. Or can't see the grooves inside the DVD, or whatever the hell it is, but whatever it is, it needs to be fixed. It might be a time to actually reconsider the concept of buy a new computer, dumbass. Although I did try to use my little laptop, and its audio port is kind of marginal at best. It tries real hard, it just doesn't get there very good. But anyway... So, and how was your day? So that was my Tuesday. Yeah, it was. It just was. And then, of course, there is the things of, do you really trust anything, or can you trust anything you buy online anymore? I mean, dead serious. Can you? I mean, do you, or can you? Should you? Should you actually, I don't know, could you actually do anything with that? You know, I mean, and then the problem that I always have, I really do. The problem that I always have, you know, is what do you do when the computer damn thing you know, what do you do at that point? You know? So, I don't know. It's one of those things that you have to sit there and you have to constantly be... You have to look, and then you have to look at who the hell you give it access to your whatever account. And do you really know who the hell on the other end of that son of a bitch is actually looking at your account? Or at least billing you? Wouldn't it be nice if it was all nice and computered? I would think so. But how do you know? Do you know? You know? Do you know that is what it is? And if it is, can you fix it? So far, I've never been able to fix it. You know? And heaven help anybody that you actually ask the question to. You know? I mean, you know. How do you even so much as know that whatever the hell it is you're doing is going to be it, you know? Just, you know. And then, of course, there's dear sweet friggin' Facebook. That seems to be the poison of America. I don't know how many, what do you call it, tragedies have been... Somebody put something up on Facebook, says, I am going to kill these people, or I'm going to kill myself. What is the procedure there? And why is it always Facebook? You know, there's Instagram, there is, oh shit, which is the one now? There was Tumblr, although from what I have read, Yahoo's divorcing Tumblr, or getting rid of it. And of course, Yahoo, you know what happened there, don't you? Dear sweet Verizon. Yeah, they bought Yahoo. So you're real good with shit if you're a Verizon customer. If you're not, they want you to be. They don't like you posting anything up there. They'll accept it because they kind of have to, but they don't like it. So, you know, there's all these, and then of course I noticed on my trucks and shit, all my little gizmos ain't working like they used to. I don't know if it's somebody that's getting ambitious to try to unplug the shit, to try to, you know, steal the shit, like that light bar in mine, and a few other things. Or if it's a fact that with all the servicing and stuff work, maybe some of it got unplugged. I've got to spend at least a half a day tomorrow trying to figure that out. Finish up Lexi Bell to where I can get it down to Nate's, which means this show is not going to last all night because I've got to go back out to the shop. But still, the long and short of it is, people leave shit the fuck alone. Little Rick was telling me about his truck and the fact that he went out to his trucks and his car and a few others that was parked. And I'm starting to wonder about this because it might be part of the problem that I've got. Is it just Rick's stuff and his connection to the Knights or whatever? Or is there something else? Because I've noticed a little bit of a hesitation on my outfits. What's happened is somebody's been going out and pouring sugar and crap into gas tanks. Now, on Silver, I don't know how the hell they could get into it, because that has to be pretty much undone from inside. But if Steph actually left the damn door open and somebody pushed the right button, I guess that would have something to do with it. And there was a few others out, that was parked there. So he's been dinking with that pretty much all day. And Lord help somebody if they mess with Dark Horse. But still, it's a bunch of hooey. It's like, people leave shit the fuck alone. It's not your property. What did somebody ever do to you that caused this shit? Does kind of make you wonder. I don't know. Anyway, one of the things I am looking forward so much to being over in Wendell. Now, as well as down around Hazard, you got to figure over there, our population bases are not that big, for one, which means the local fuzz can keep a little bit closer eye on shit, which means my stuff and everybody else's stuff is pretty much protected. That kind of gives you kind of an idea. All these municipalities are always talking about they need more money for more equipment, for more training. I got a better concept. Well, maybe not a better one, but a slightly enhanced. I got an idea. Instead of hiring Boy Scouts and putting badges on them and saying, here, just go rattle a few doors, I got an idea. Let's get some cops out there. Real police that actually do something called enforce the law. Now, I know, all the civil libertarians out there and all the other kind of idiots out there are saying, well, what if they do this? What if they do that? What if they do... As long as they're following the law and they're arresting you for not, that's a good thing. Or giving you a ticket if you're doing something stupid on the road. But to do that, they need more of them. And there's a lot of guys that don't want to do that anymore. I can remember that was one of the few things that was always on somebody's list to be when they grew up. When I was in school years ago, there was the thing of kids wanted to either be astronauts, or something. Then there was always somebody that wanted to be in the military. always a fireman. Of course, you never ever heard anybody say, hey, I want to be an accountant when I grow up. Or I want to be an insurance salesman. Damn, I want to go out there and put on a business suit and go out there and starve to death while nobody wants to buy this insurance policy. But still, what I'm trying to get to is this. There was professions that we all wanted to be. And one of the grandest at the time was to put on a badge and be a cop. Now, it wasn't for everybody, but it was a good one. Today, more and more high school students and whatnot do not even want to think about being in law enforcement. They think it's a situation that no matter what, and to a degree, they're probably accurate. It's a situation due to all these civil libertarians and all these other obscure laws and things that they put on and all that, and everybody's suing the fuzz for snagging on the wrong person or whatever. You know, but that's what the courts are for, to decide if somebody's guilty or not guilty. If a cop sees you doing something, he's going to book you. But then for a while down there in Salt Lake City, they couldn't even do that. Now they're finally starting to get smart and starting to pick up the misdemeanors and that kind of shit, simple stuff. The non-felonies. They were nailing people for felonies. They actually did make bed space for that, but they still don't have enough. Supposedly, they're supposed to be making a new one. But the thing is, there's not enough prisons and jails. And it all stems down to some other stuff. One, kids not reading the Bible. They just don't. They don't believe in a higher power. It's always kind of a question. The other night I saw a repeat of Girl Meets World. And only a very few, and it was reluctant. You could see that somebody wanted to, but they reluctantly withdrew the idea of saying God or Heavenly Father, the Holy Ghost, the angels, or Jesus Christ, or anything of that nature. But they were talking about a higher power. Do you believe in something? And of course, Farkle, he said, well, in the scientific community, something that cannot be seen or immediately proven is pretty much done away with or considered hearsay. I don't believe that. And then all of it's, because right at the end, Kevin Savage's little brother, who plays the dad on the show, held up a prism, shone the light through it, and give Farkle the idea of dirty air. That light could actually pass through that prism and actually make several colors. The situation is, just because you can't see it, not necessarily smell it, but you know it's there. You have faith that it's there. Just like you look out the window, you see a building, and you mentally perceive that there's people in there. That there's families, dogs, cats, and whatnot inside. But you can't really see them. But it's a perception. It's something that's more than likely there. With our Heavenly Father, I absolutely, without a doubt, know that somebody's there. But getting back to what I was saying, apparently there was some people around the Wentworth and the Chief Washakie apartments over here that's on the other side of the Wentworth here in Evanston, Wyoming, that has been taking the concept of let's go out and see if we can destroy somebody's damn truck or car. Just because it looks like it's a funny. It's supposed to be like graduation summer hijinks or some shit. You know, when I was in high school, we never did that kind of shit. At least not to where it was hurting anybody. Oh, sure, and I guess we should have got booked for it. Because it was, in effect, theft. But our biggest thing was going out and stealing the watermelons out of the Christ orchards or something, or the cantaloupes. We never or you know, maybe going out and tipping cows over or something. But we never actually did anything, unless somebody pissed us off. We didn't do anything as far as damaging property. You never went out and on purpose went up and beat somebody up just because you wanted to beat somebody up. You didn't do that. There had to be a damn reason for it, and a pretty damn good one for that to happen anyway. Or at least that's the way we looked at it as a club. But, I mean, yeah, if somebody really pissed us off or insulted one of our girls or something, yeah, somebody's going to answer for it. But we'd always go up to the people before we started punching them and say, hey, what the fuck? Why'd you call her that? What'd you do that for? Because sometimes, and I've found this out a lot of time, women, and especially ex-wives and the ones that got kicked out the door, there's always some guy that has a story behind it. Men are not instinctively volatile that way. We just aren't. Most of us would rather just sit at home when we come home off of work, no matter what that work is. But we would just as soon come home and go to bed. Have our dinner, watch a little TV, maybe relax a little bit, take a shower if we're able, or take a shit, then a shower if we're able, and then go to bed. Problem is, women always have to bring shit up. And for some reason, women always bring stuff up right at nighttime. When you really can't do a fucking thing about whatever the hell she's complaining about. Who you going to call at 11 o'clock or even at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? Who the hell you going to call? You can't, if it's a legal thing, you can't wake up some fucking lawyer. But the only two people you can wake up for shit like that is either the cops, who around here take at least a half an hour to an hour to show up, or a doctor who would then actually respond in ambulance, again, taking at least 35 to 45 minutes to show up. And yet they want us tow truck drivers to show up within 15 to 20 minutes. Really? They don't give us a damn siren and make it to where we have to wait for traffic or wait to get past somebody that it's a damn misdemeanor. The states really have never recognized tow trucks as emergency vehicles. We are starting to get recognition as far as first responders, but not as emergency vehicles. The only time that we were actually enabled to do that, Idaho passed a law, oh shit, when the hell was that? Back in, 83, well, about 84, 85 somewhere. It was called the Idaho Lien Law. And yes, our association, our towing association had something to do with it, but the long and short of it, it finally recognized a tow truck as an emergency vehicle. At least enough to where, because there was this big complaint by a few of us, that if you'd go on the interstate in one lane, to get back to turn around, you had to run up, go over the damn overpass, run back down the other lane, go to that next overpass, if there was one, and turn around to reapproach the thing, whatever the hell you was out there to tow, in case you missed it the first time. Or if you were coming from an opposite direction, you had to go all the way up to an overpass, turn around, and come back to reach the destination of whatever the hell you had to go hook up to. So we said, hey, what? There's these damn emergency turnarounds. Why don't you let us use them? Well, to do that, you had to be an emergency vehicle. So if you're there being dispatched on a call, at that time, you have a limited authority of being what they call an authorized emergency vehicle at the time of call. But the rest of the time, you're not. Which I kind of think is kind of stupid. Why not make us emergency vehicles all the time? Really? Now, ambulances and cops can be on this, and fire trucks can all be on the same dispatch. Or on the squawk box. Why not put the tow trucks there too? I mean, you know, the ones of us that actually could actually buy radios for inside the trucks and whatnot, to where we could actually communicate directly with the cop that's dispatching us. I know people are saying, well, what about cell phones? If you're out searching for something, where the hell are you going to stop, open up your phone or get your smartphone out and dial the phone number and say, hey, where the hell am I and where the hell is this and what the hell am I looking for? It'd be nice just to be able to, hey, truck or squad number 352. Hey, where the hell is this, man? And actually talk to the cop that's actually working the accident or the recovery scene anyway. What about it? You know, why not let us communicate? You know, I always thought that would be a pretty good deal up there at SERCOM in Idaho. You know, they've got every damn emergency, whatever the fuck, tied into that damn thing. Why not provide or at least authorized tow trucks that are on rotation to have a channel on a radio that could actually talk to SERCOM? That they could flip over and actually allow us to talk to the deputy or whoever the hell it is to say, where the hell is this? Because a lot of times the dispatch will get the damn whatever the hell it is and get the location messed up. I remember, and see, this shows you that not every place is perfect. I remember when I first got up there, back up to Idaho and finally got in tune with SERCOM. I think SERCOM is a waste of money. I think it all ought to go back out to dispatches or, you know, to the sheriff's office of the area, of people and deputies that actually know the territory. But there was, I can't remember what the hell it was. It wasn't that. It was something else. But there was something that I needed checked out really pretty bad on by the cops. And I wasn't having much luck trying to get a hold of Sean. So, like a normal, 934-4421. Well, what that does is all that does is ring into SERCOM. Okay, SERCOM has no fucking idea where the National Fish Hatchery is, where the State Fish Hatchery is, where old Jim Williams used to live. You can't say it that way. You've actually got to have a grid number. It's like, we never had a grid number. It was like, okay, you go to Jim Williams' old place, we're across from it. You know, the old Montgomery place. SERCOM actually sent a damn deputy supposedly down in the river bottoms, which was technically in Twin Falls County, and both of them were confused. Shouldn't they make some of the people that work at that dispatch go out and take a look at the fucking county so they know who lives where? You know, not everything is, you know, such and such north, such and such south, and such west, and such east. It's like people in the country know, well, you know, you get to that there barn, that all used to be old Mr. Jones's place. You know, Harry Jones, the one that had the dadgum daughter that ran off with that there city feller. Well, doggone it, you get to that barn and you turn right there. There's a road. It ain't marked too good. There's an old tree sitting there that's been there for years. Nobody's ever cut it down. It's got the bark off half. Given directions like that, the people that actually that wear a badge ought to go out and go look at this stuff to where they got some idea that when somebody says, hey, it's there, somebody at dispatch, as well as whoever's telling them where the hell something's at, knows how to get to wherever it is. As it is now, they have no fucking concept. Now, years ago, and I always wondered how they determine the numbers on something. You know, like mile marker numbers on an interstate. How do they know? And what miles do they? Where does it start? Where is zero? That climbs up to mile marker 252 or 353 or whatever. Where the fuck is zero? Is it the state capital? Is it the border of the state? Either one. Where the hell is zero? Mile marker zero. Nobody can ever tell you that. Yeah, it's a reference point to where some cop or something can actually find it on a grid map and say, that's how the hell you get there. But really, where the hell is mile marker number zero? I want to know. Where the hell is mile marker zero? And then the other thing I want to know is, how do they determine how many it is? Is it per mile? Have you ever noticed that the distances, when they say such and such town is at mile marker such and such? No, it ain't. The actual town is probably like about 3 to 4, maybe, well, about 2, maybe 3 miles in past that. What it is exit to exit. Or entrance to entrance. But that's where it is. That's where they determine, you know, so many to that. They don't actually say, well, shouldn't there be some sort of a point that says that's the place in town, that's where the hell town is at? Make a hell of a lot more accurate mapping, don't you think? I know, it would take too much money to actually do such a thing. But all jokes aside, can't somebody come up with something on this that actually makes some sense? And then there's the other thing about, and even with that, shouldn't they mandate, especially people in town, to put a damn number on the friggin' house to where you can find it? Put a number up there. That way, if somebody is like a tow truck, especially us in towing, you say it's at one something, whatever street in this town. But you go there, the neighbor has his numbers up, this one has its numbers up. You forgot to put the number on the damn door or on the poster somewhere on there, or on the mailbox or something, to where somebody goes, hey, there it is. Anymore, you pretty much have to guess. Come on, people, get off your ass. It doesn't take that much to go out there and do that. Does it? I mean, does it? I don't know. I just have no idea. You know, there was something that somebody came up with the other day, and it's something that we're kind of looking at doing in the Iron Nights, just for the heck of it. But we was talking about, you know, how military aircraft, and it might have started before that, but they always talked about nose art or body art. No, I'm not talking tattoos or any of that kind of shit on people. I'm talking about the artwork of the girls and the women and shit that was on aircraft. And we thought, wouldn't it be kind of nifty? Hold on, wait just a minute. Wouldn't it be nifty if somebody were to do that to trucks and cars and paint murals? Now, I know they do that. Now, after you get some of that, wouldn't it be nice to kind of go out there and take a look? You let everybody else kind of say, hey, golly gee whiz, that's snazzy. Wouldn't that be nifty? Well, we kind of come up with something. You know, so what we're thinking about doing is doing like a, and we really haven't got a title for it, but essentially a tow truck pinup, calendar, video, and all that. It kind of goes along with what we were doing with highway or classic hookers and haulers a few years ago. And hooker, first of all, and I know I'm drifting off again on subject. I want people to understand something here. The word hooker, in this case, refers to tow truck. Has nothing to do with the lot lizards. None. It refers to tow truck. Okay? So, anyway, we were thinking about classic hookers and haulers, and that kind of explains it. Maybe not as well, but so what? Anyway, we were thinking about getting some gals and get some of the classiest tow trucks and old-style trucks, just general commercial rigs, polishing them up a little bit, and take some gals out there and have them sit, lay, sideways, whatever the hell, just, you know, but to enhance the rigs and make a video and a halfway decent calendar, raise some money for, like, Shriners Crippled Children's Hospital, but essentially run out there and, you know, have a pinup project for trucks, and especially tow trucks. Why not? You know, everybody always, and I know it's a necessary evil. We all know this. Most people, when they work, unless you're in the business of it, but most people who wake up in the morning do not necessarily go out and say, hey, I wonder what tow truck I need to call this morning. Calling one of us is probably the last thing on their mind because they really don't want to have to do that. Unfortunately, they do. Somewhere. Cars break down, trucks break down, they have accidents, they get stuck, so on and so forth. And especially some of this new stuff, a lot of it you just got to haul away, and I can understand why they got more carriers than they got tow trucks anymore. Because a lot of these new cars and stuff, the minute they get walloped, they ain't no good no more. They just aren't. But what do you do for that kind of stuff? You know, the manufacturers ain't going to start building stuff out of steel anymore. The EPA has forced them, well, and supposedly our illustrious Trump. Like I said, I don't trust him for shit. I'm sorry, I just don't, guys. I know a lot of you had voted for him thinking, oh, he's going to heal the damn country. I got news for you. What has he done? In any way, shape, size, or form that actually you can actually reach out after the first few hundred days of his administration. Where can you reach out and say, this he fixed? I really can't. I think Donald Trump has got to be, well, the biggest poison in the world. But that's just me.
To save our heritage and carry the memories home. Hands around the campfire, singing rebel songs of yesterday. We're united in our fight to save just what is right and keep the fire burning the southern way. We're the sons of Confederate veterans. We are legions proud and strong. We will fight to save our heritage and carry the memories on. No, we won't forget the battles, how the great soldiers lived and died. As we gather round to meet, we'll sing the song so sweet of our grandfather's love and pride. We're the sons of Confederate veterans. We are legions proud and strong. We will fight to save our heritage and carry the memories on.
God save the South, God save the South, her altars and firesides, God save the South. Now that the war is nigh, now that we arm to die, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death. Now that the war is nigh, now that we arm to die, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death. God be our shield, at home or afield, stretch thine arm over us, strengthen and save. What though they're 3-1, forward each sire and son, strike till the war is won, strike to the grave, strike till the war is won, strike to the grave. Now that the war is nigh, now that we arm to die, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death, chanting our battle cry, freedom or death.
Ye banks and braes of Bonnie-Doon, how can ye bloom sae fresh and fair? How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I sae weary, full of care? Oh, you'll break my heart, ye warbling bird, that wantons through the flower and thorn. Thou minds me o' departed joys, departed, never to return.
If you go to Sin City, you made your choice. It's cash on the barrelhead. Oh, the words of the previous fallen angel, like a sweetheart on a hickory wind. Through your hour of darkness, they'll return to you, and the bird that crashed and burned can fly again. Listen to the words of the poet who has heard, the voice that moves, the hand that writes the song. With the rains come rust, ashes and
TalkingToewEP11a.com and download the app. Working with technology to bring America home. We have an app for that. CSCTalkRadio.com. CSCTalkRadio.com. Hear ye, hear ye. The Pen is here. News hot off the presses. The Pen is the bi-monthly newsletter for CSC Talk Radio. Beth Ann and friends have packed it with information you won't read in the paper from the corner newsstand. News, opinions, and insights. All packed into this economical read. Just $24.95 will buy you 6 issues yearly. Common sense is what we speak, and it's also what we write. The Pen is a compilation of many writers we know you're going to enjoy. The news these days isn't easy to digest, but it is necessary to keep informed, and that is what we at CSC Talk Radio strive to do, serving listeners in every way. Order your subscription today. Send $24.95 to CSC Talk Radio, P.O. Box 73, California, Missouri, 65018. Keep informed. Send $24.95 to P.O. Box 73, California, Missouri, 65018, and request your subscription to the Pen today.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventors information, call 1-800-351-9820. That's 1-800-351-9820. Again, 1-800-351-9820.
Alexis de Tocqueville once stated, America is great because she is good. If America ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. To know where we are going, we must remember from whence we came. Looking back in our American history, we can see the hand of God. He wrought many miracles in our nation and brought us through much to be a nation under Him, a nation under God. We've forgotten from whence we came. America has lost her greatness. America ceases to be good because we've forgotten our God, who is all that is good. Sue and Bill Federer have compiled 32 truths, which in our history show the hand of God, His answered prayers, His miracles, and His mercy on our nation. For only $22, Miracles in American History will encourage and uplift you. Order Miracles in American History. Send $22 to CSC Talk Radio, Post Office Box 73, California, Missouri 65018, or order online at csctalkradio.com. We have returned to listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. I'm visiting today with Melody Cedarstrom, and I got a little bit emotional, a little bit way off topic in the last segment.
Well, you brought a tear to my eye, Beth.
Well, you know, it's just so near and dear to us. We care so much, you know, and I see this nation, and I see something like what happened there, and the brokenness, and the forgiveness. And, you know, that's what Christianity and America is about. And then we turn around and we try to fight over something else. And it just is mind-boggling. If I was their mother, I'd send them all to the corner or to their room and tell them they couldn't come out until they changed their attitudes. And that's the way it would be.
Well, here's another side. They do not want to bring attention to Christianity and how Christians perform and act and what we believe. That is something that they certainly don't want to give that any attention. So
and Christianity,
they focus on something else.
Christianity knows no color. Our Lord created us all. It doesn't see color.
It doesn't divide, but they're using the flag and even the Jefferson Davis statues and so forth. They want to remove. I mean, that is division. They are dividing.
Oh, let me ask you, since we're talking about coins, what about this thing? It's not the coin, it's the dollar. It's the $20 bill or $10 bill. Which one is it? They're trying to change the face of it. They want to put a woman on it.
$10 bill.
$10 bill. Okay, it's got right now. It's got is it Hamilton or Jefferson? Who's on that?
It's Hamilton.
Hamilton. And see how well I know my money. And so, what's your opinion on that? I think it's goofy. I think just leave it alone.
Well, it's like, what's the point? Our dollars or our currency is worthless anyway. However, they're looking to do this by 2020, and I'm thinking to myself, well, wouldn't this be interesting that they're changing this as a way to introduce a new currency at that point in time, to actually make a change like that. Now, that's my own personal opinion. That is just my little conspiracy theory mind, questioning the motives behind it. And so, because I figure anything that they do, there is something behind it. There's a bigger picture. It isn't just as common as changing the picture on the $10 bill. And
why don't they just make a new bill? I mean, if they want to put a woman on it, why don't they just make a new bill?
Well, they did that. They did the $2 bill, and it just doesn't work. It's and I mean, we're almost at a cashless society anyway. I mean, people are using credit cards, and they're pushed for a cashless society. It's sort of like, why would you change the picture? And if they're going to change the picture, instead of picturing a woman for women's rights and so forth, which is where they're headed. Or maybe they'll put Caitlyn on it. Who knows? They won't put somebody on there that represents our country like Abigail Adams. That's who really should go on the bill. But what's interesting, Bernanke was upset because they're dropping Alexander Hamilton, and he wanted to have Andrew Jackson dumped from the 20 because Jackson opposed attempts to establish a U.S. central bank. And he thought Jackson was a poor president, but
well, Jackson may be saying in his grave, "Yes, take me off. I don't want to be represented here."
But it's just funny. They're little. You understand how their minds work. It's all about the central bank, and it's certainly not about our country anymore. It's about dollars, it's about money, and it's about them continuing to create the wealth and the power for themselves. And I think what's scary is when you have people like these young kids that are billionaires in the tech industry, like Zuckerberg and some of these other kids. I mean, it's like their money moves policies. And certainly look how they've been trained, and look at the belief of these kids before they experience any life and understand, and can really have a true voice or understanding of what's right and what's wrong, particularly when they don't have a strong religious background or a Christian background. So they're the ones, they have billions of dollars to push policies and to make changes in this country. And you know what? They love globalism. They're going to promote globalism, and so it's scary when you think, 20 years into the future, which we know how fast 20 years goes by.
Oh, really fast.
It was really fast.
Well, and I think this last vote can tell us exactly where if you had any doubts before, where your Congress is. Not just that they passed the TPP, but because of what they were willing to give up. They're not going to give up power without receiving something somewhere along the way,
No,
goes back to my, I don't believe it's a theory, I believe it's the truth, that D.C. occupiers occupying offices and cutting deals. We have a caller. I didn't catch his name. Joseph, is it? Joseph from Georgia. Joseph, how are you today?
Yeah, all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, well, it's done past. I called over a year ago when you first was talking about it. You know, the only thing we knew was like that they was going to have courts overruling U.S. courts. And I made the calls again this year, but it's all about replacing the constitutional republic with a democratic dictatorship. And you know, the same people that own the stock market and the corporations is the ones that got the banker bailout money.
They're the ones that own Congress, too, aren't they?
And the Congress, they're owned by them, but Congress, they're looking out for themselves because we're going to have some kind of economic changes coming. And some French official said sometime over a year ago that we got 500 days before some climate change event, so I don't know if there's anything else going to happen in September. But everybody keeps bringing up September. But all of these people that sold out, you know, the ones we voted for, they're looking out for themselves.
You bet they are.
But Peter DeFazio of Oregon, Democrat, he was talking about the secret tribunals. Only corporations have access to them. And you can't discuss it because this stuff is classified. My main question is, now that all of this is said and done, who classified this stuff? You know, who said, no, this is classified? Who had the power to say it's classified over to Congress? Where did that, who put that on there? Who had the power to do that?
Good question. Nobody really did under our Constitution.
Yeah, so it comes back to the shadow government, in other words. And now the congressmen, they're scared to say anything, oh, it's classified, because they know the big hammer might come down on them.
We need some statesmen, and we need some stateswomen, and we need people that are going to be bold enough to stand up, and it's not going to be easy, and I'm telling you, it may be ugly. I'm going to let you go.
Senator Sessions, he laid it out, too. Senator Sessions gave a speech about it.
Right.
And about how it's just like the European Union, how it was enacted, you know.
I'm liking more and more of what I hear of that man. I really am.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call. I'm going to go on. I've got another caller. We've got Pat from Texas. Pat, how are you today?
Oh, fine. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I just heard you talking about money, printing it, and they do have a new money printed. They've had it for years. It's called Monopoly money. It's pink and blue. I don't like pink anymore after Holman Foundation gives to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, and we might as well be using that, hadn't we, Melody?
I hope the blue was us, but one of us for overseas and one of them is local, in internal America.
All right. Okay.
And also, too, how come nobody ever mentions the fair tax?
We do.
I do not.
We do mention it. It costs money to be on the air, and I have had them on several times, and I've asked them to actually help support the show, and they just will not. They will not. And it's
not enough of them.
No, there are. I think they've got it. I kind of wonder what they're doing.
Well, they're lobbying. There's quite a list of people for it.
They need to lobby the right people. 300 million Americans. That's the ones they need to be lobbying.
Really.
I'm going to have to let you
lobby the power base.
Going to have to let you go, Pat. We're going into a break. Thank you so much. We appreciate your calls. 877-895-5410. Visit Melody's website. She'll be right back with us at www.dgscoins.com. 877-895-5410. And we will be right back.
If you believe, as I do, that America's headed the wrong way and needs to turn around, write this down. Western Conservative Summit 2015. Your story, Freedom Alive. June 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Colorado Convention Center. be there. This is John Andrews inviting you to join me for the best weekend of your summer. A huge rally on the right with thousands of new friends and dozens of great speakers. Presidential contenders like Scott.
But where do you go with all that kind of stuff? I don't know. Anyway, hey, we're going to back them on out and catch you tomorrow night right here. Hey, where it's right. Talking Toes on Cooters Coast to Coast FM. Until tomorrow, hey, drive them easy and try to stay out of the ditch. And if you do get in the ditch, call one of us. Until then, adios, y'all.